Hare Krishna. Here we are, Bhaktivedanta Manor. Don't know why we're reading outside. It's so cold.
Well, a few minutes ago, to be honest with you, the sun was beaming. It was like looking so nice. I put the glove on backwards.
It might be baby, but it is cold. So
yeah, and we didn't really dress for outside. We dressed for like getting out of the car and going in.
We dressed for the city.
Well, we didn't even dress
We're
for
not
the
dressed
city.
for the country.
We dress warmer in the city. So,
Anyway,
here we are in George Harrison's Memorial Garden, which is beautiful. And I was realizing this morning as I walked around the manor just before class that there are so many beautiful spots here. So we're going to be doing our regular readings around here.
Right.
Dressed more warmly. Yeah. But for now, we're going to read, and it's going to be a quick reading. We got to let you know. It's going to be about a 12-minute reading.
All right.
Hare Krishna.
Canto 3, chapter 31, text 41. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. So when I said quick reading, I didn't mean we were going to read fast. I just meant it ain't going to be as long. So let's say shorter reading.
Text 41. A living entity who, as a result of attachment to a woman in his previous life, has been endowed with the form of a woman, foolishly looks upon Maya in the form of a man, her husband, as the bestower of wealth, progeny, house, and other material assets. Well, from this verse, it appears that a woman is also supposed to have been a man in her previous life, and due to his attachment to his wife, he now has the body of a woman. Dear me. Bhagavad Gita confirms this. A man gets his next life's birth according to what he thinks of at the time of death. If someone is too attached to his wife, naturally he thinks of his wife at the time of death, and in his next life he takes the body of a woman. Similarly, if a woman thinks of her husband at the time of death, naturally she gets the body of a man in the next life. Jeepers. In the Hindu scriptures, therefore, a woman's chastity and devotion to man is greatly emphasized. A woman's attachment to her husband may elevate her to the body of a man in her next life, but a man's attachment to a woman will degrade him, and in his next life he will get the body of a woman.
Well, I think the fact of the matter is we don't want nobody.
Yeah, but the fact is that you're degraded because you was a woman and then you thought of a man. You came from a woman's body. I was a man. I was in a higher position and I thought of a woman, so I'm lowly now.
You're what now?
Lowly. According to what we're reading.
Well, yeah. But anyway, the point is better to be in a woman. It's interesting because you can see it both ways, right? It's better to be in a woman's body thinking of your husband, so you get a man's body in your next life, quote unquote, like that's a good thing. But, anyway, that's why I said we don't want nobody, So better to remain,
Krishna.
brahmachari and meditate on Krishna, but that ain't easy either. So what you going to do?
Just think of Krishna.
Did you read the whole thing?
We should always remember, as it is stated in Bhagavad Gita, that both the gross and subtle material bodies are dresses. They are the shirt and coat of the living entity. To be either a woman or a man only involves one's bodily dress. The soul in nature is actually the marginal energy of the Supreme Lord. Every living entity being classified as energy is supposed to be originally a woman, or one who is enjoyed. In the body of a man there is a great opportunity to get out of the material clutches. There is less opportunity in the body of a woman. In this verse it is indicated that the body of a man should not be misused through forming an attachment to women and thus becoming too entangled in material enjoyment, which will result in getting the body of a woman in the next life. A woman is generally fond of household prosperity, ornaments, furniture and dresses. She is satisfied when the husband supplies all these things sufficiently. The relationship between man and woman is very complicated, but the substance is that one who aspires to ascend to the transcendental stage of spiritual realization should be very careful in accepting the association of a woman. In the stage of Krishna consciousness, however, such restriction of association may be slackened, because if a man and woman's attachment is not to each other but to Krishna, then both of them are equally eligible to get out of the material entanglement and reach the abode of Krishna.
Haribo, go Ranga.
As it is confirmed in Bhagavad Gita, anyone who seriously takes to Krishna consciousness, whether in the lower species of life or a woman or the less intelligent classes, such as the mercantile or labor class, will go back home, back to Godhead, and reach the abode of Krishna.
Haribo.
A man should not be attached.
Confirmed.
A man should not be
Even a
attached to
crow.
a woman, nor should a woman be attached to a man. Both man and woman should be attached to the service of the Lord.
Haribo.
Then there is a possibility of liberation from material entanglement for both of them.
Finally, you know, I mean, Srila Prabhupada obviously thinks like this, but he's stating the hard cold facts, not just for devotees, but for anyone who reads the book, so that it goes in. Sorry.
I'm so cold, but yeah. That's what I said all along. It doesn't matter if you're the brahmachari or grihastha or sannyasi even. You got to be Krishna conscious. So a sannyasi can be less Krishna conscious than a grihastha, quite frankly, if they're not actually following the process and thinking of Krishna. There you go. Controversial but true.
Sad but true. Yeah, it's like that. Yeah, so, you know, wherever you are, whoever you are, you know, like Lord Chaitanya said, I'm not a, you know, brahmachari, grihastha, vanaprastha, sannyasi. I'm not a shudra, vaishya, kshatriya, or brahmana. I am simply the dasa anudas, you know, gopi bhartur padakamala yor das anudas anudas. I'm simply the servant of the servant of the servant of the gopis who are the servants of Krishna. So, yeah, we just have to become absorbed in trying to serve Krishna, and whatever ashram is suitable for us. Better to be real about where you are and who you are, what you are, as far as conditioned nature, than to try to pretend to be something that you are not. And you know, it's just kind of forcing a square peg into a round hole, sort of thing, you know. Basically, we just need to try to be Krishna conscious, isn't it? You know.
Just be real.
Excuse me. Should we carry on?
All right.
4E2, mate. Text 4E2. A woman, therefore, should consider her husband, her house, and her children to be the arrangement of the external energy of the Lord for her death, just as the sweet singing of the hunter is death for the deer.
Whoa.
Okay, I'm not quite sure. Just see if I understand this. So a woman should consider her husband, the house they live in, and any children to be the arrangement of the external energy of the Lord for her death. What does that mean to you?
It means let's read the purport and Prabhupada explain what it means.
Thank you. That's exactly the test to to get the right answer. Okay. Purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. In these instructions of Lord Kapila Dev,
It's a dog.
the wild dogs
Jesus.
are coming. It is explained that not only is woman the gateway to hell for man, but man is also the gateway to hell for woman, as we've mentioned earlier. It is a question of attachment, isn't it just? A man becomes attached to a woman because of her service, her beauty, and many other assets. And similarly, a woman becomes attached to a man for his giving her a nice place to live, ornaments, dress, and children. It is a question of attachment for one another. As long as either is attached to the other for such material enjoyment, the woman is dangerous for the man, and the man is also dangerous for the woman. But if the attachment is transferred to Krishna, both of them become Krishna conscious. And then marriage is very nice. There you go. Well, I wouldn't go that far. Srila Rupa Goswami therefore recommends Anasaktasya vishayan yatarhan upayunjataha nirbandha Krishna sambande yuktam vairagyamuchyate. That's from Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu 1-2, 255. Man and woman should live together as householders in relationship with Krishna, only for the purpose of discharging duties in the service of Krishna. Engage the children, engage the wife, and engage the husband, all in Krishna conscious duties, and then all these bodily and material attachments will disappear. Since the medium is Krishna, the consciousness is pure, and there is no possibility of degradation at any time. Wonderful. Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. Yes. I mean, this is really what all the previous verses and purports, as we've kind of mentioned in our commentary or conversation, that, yeah, this is the goal. And it's not that we should get hung up on this is bad, that's bad, they're bad, she's bad, he's bad. We just need to add Krishna into the mix, and it becomes a process by which we naturally become detached from the things of this world. It doesn't mean that you still don't need a house, for God's sakes. It doesn't mean that you still don't need to go to the store and buy something to eat. It doesn't mean that you don't do your laundry. It doesn't mean that you don't live a practical life.
Or eat food.
Eat food, I think I said that, but we have to reiterate it. And it doesn't mean that you don't, have to maybe have a car to drive to go from point A to point B. All these things, as Prabhupada said in one lecture, are equal to zero if they don't have the one in front. And with the one, all the zeros have value. So the one is Krishna. So if we're trying to do these things for Krishna, if we're cultivating a consciousness of serving Krishna, engaging all of his material energy, just like right now, you must be sitting in front of a computer or a phone or something watching this, and we're using a phone to record and little microphones. She's reading from. Prabhupada was expert at engaging the material energy in the service of Krishna, and we also have to become expert at doing that. So family life can be blissful if everyone involved is trying to engage in the service of Krishna. It doesn't mean there won't be difficulties or troubles, because the heart is likely still a little impure, and that purification of the false ego from the heart, of anarthas from the heart, is always going to feel a little like pinch. But that's the process for purification, so that we can go back to be with Krishna at the end of this life. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Do you want to read on, or
I think we
cease
should
to
stop,
exist there?
because I think I might die.
Might die.
That's a bit dramatic.
That is a lot dramatic. not to be not expected, let's say. Okay, so we thank you very much. It was right around the 12-minute mark. And short but sweet, beautiful, beautiful place. I'm going to spin the camera around really quickly and show you a little darshan of this beautiful site. And please join us in Bhagavatam Bites. Like,
comment,
subscribe,
share.
Like that. You can do all of those.
I'll show a more fuller viewing. That makes sense. I'm going to show this George Harrison Park in Bhakti Vision, because it's beautiful, and there's Bhagavad Gita path, a Japa pond or path.
Japa walk.
And there's there's so much to see in Bhaktivedanta Manor. So look forward to it.
Hare Krishna, all glories to Srila Prabhupada. Haribol. Quick darshan around. Look, here we go.
Hare Krishna.
Haribol.